It's me, it's the Funkit Pod with the Wrestling Wednesday. I'm sticking to this moniker because it sounds cool, but yes, you got me. WWE got to me. They said, hey man, we love your podcast. Could you please move it to Friday? And well, since SmackDown is on Friday now, of course, it makes sense to then just do AEW Dynamite and SmackDown all together, of course. So that's what we're doing now. Just makes it easier, keeps it fresh in our memories. It's not a week since the last SmackDown episode, since SmackDown just aired. So let's do it like this. But I'm still starting with the AEW because I'm still starting with what I liked better this week, which again was AEW. Not to say it was perfect, but I still liked it overall. A tad bit better, several tads bit better than SmackDown, and that Red Show is still banned from my podcast. So let's start with AEW, right? AEW Dynamite. And we kicked things off with an old school, like, brawl match kind of thing between Yuji Nagata for the IWGP US title versus the champion, Jon Moxley. And Yuji Nagata is 50-something years old. Respect. I mean, you can see his belly a little. He's not that jacked anymore, of course, but I mean, he has still some moves in there, and you can just see he's like this old school wrestler, like methodical, knows what he's doing, like what really sells the moves, like the finger manipulation and things like this. It's just kind of cool to see those old school guys. And I think Moxley had fun in there because after the match, of course, Moxley won, but it was like a nice trading like of like hard moves in between and kicks, like yes kicks, if I may use this reference. And after the match, after Moxley then won, he would bow to Nagata, and Nagata would reciprocate and also bow to Moxley, and they showed respect. It was a nice way to kick things off. It's not my favorite match, but I can appreciate the kind of story that they were telling and what kind of match they were going for. It's just nice to have like those different kinds of matches once in a while. So I did enjoy this quite a bit. That was nice. Afterwards, the big announcement by AEW, and I wrote it down, Executive Vice President Cody Rhodes. Major announcement is that he's going to face Anthony Ogogo at Double or Nothing. Hey, surprise. Who would have seen that coming, Cody Rhodes? You're back full of surprises. The surprises here, of course, the big surprises, is not going to be the Nightmare Cody Rhodes, because now it's USA versus England. So he's not the Nightmare Cody Rhodes. For one time only, he will be the American Dream. So while I always enjoy references to Dusty Rhodes, and he certainly deserved all the references and all the mentions and all the love that he's getting, of course, Cody Rhodes, you're acting like you're like, I know you like McMahon right now. You're acting like WWE, and I don't like it. Dude, in the beginning, AEW was so cool, and it's still cool, but like those Cody Rhodes segments in between, they turn slowly into WWE. Maybe Cody now realizes why WWE had those segments in between, right? Because I saw lots of praise for that online. I'm like, yeah, the American Dream, and yeah, it's cool, the reference, but like this, let's make it a country thing. And still, this Ogogo's finishing maneuver, like a punch to the gut. And yes, I've been punched to the gut. I've been punched to the liver. The liver punch shuts you down. That is very true, of course. But I'm not sure if he actually uses the liver punch, because they always say like a punch to the gut. And it's wrestling, goddammit. I don't want to see a liver punch as if it would be a liver punch. I don't want to see a liver punch as a finishing maneuver. Also, if it would be a liver punch, the reaction would not be immediately falling to the ground. It would be like, liver punch, okay, oh, and then you would crumble. Just saying. So I'm not a big fan of what Cody is doing right now. Cody, get it together. Young Bucks, say something. Then we had my match of the night. AEW Tag Team match in action. SCU. Christopher Daniels, Frankie Kazarian, the old school tag team. If you're into wrestling for a while, you've seen them, you loved them probably. Versus the Young Bucks. I was about to say something else. And of course, the Young Bucks out there with the Good Brothers and with Don Callis. And that was an amazing match. SCU, I can't stop, started off super fast. Christopher Daniels just stacking everybody, like starting like there's no tomorrow. Very fitting here, because if they lose, they would have to break up, right? In the end, I can't explain enough, or I can't put in words how much I like that match, because SCU just I know they just used all the cool moves that you would expect them to use, and then some. Like the Good Brothers got involved, of course they got involved, and then was it Kazarian? I think it was Kazarian. Maybe it was Daniels. I think was it Daniels. One of the guys from SCU then hit a Styles Clash, just looking at the Good Brothers, like just hey. See, we can do this too. And they had like lots of different finishing maneuvers. That was just amazing. The Young Bucks, of course, like healing it up in between. And then, as I said, the interference of the Good Brothers that then, of course, led to like a distraction of the referee. And then, of course, they all interfered. And eventually the finish then came. And it took like a minute until you saw blood again. By the way, also Moxley was also bleeding in the first match already. Maybe just like because WWE like said, we didn't like the match last week. It's like set us back 30 years, so much bleeding and so on. And AEW is like, all right, hold my beer. Bleed blood everywhere. So also like here, Kazarian was bleeding like crazy. It's been in the outside for a while because it just was taken out. And then he tries to come back in, and then they sprayed a cold spray from that lackey that is with them with Kenny and the Young Bucks, the cold spray, and then hit Kazarian or hit Daniels also with the cold spray. He tumbles to the outside. They're pinning. The pin is on Kazarian, and Daniels is just too late and can't help anymore because he got decked by that punch with the cold spray can. Young Bucks winning, celebrating, of course, SCU hugging each other, just like embracing each other one last time. And well, that's the end for SCU. In response, because of course everybody saw the interference of the Good Brothers and the spray and so on, then Eddie Kingston, Jon Moxley go into the back to find the Young Bucks dressing room and then just destroy the locker room. That helped a lot, of course. That sets up the next feud, of course. But so SCU are done, at least in AEW. I'm sad. SCU. One of the next matches that we saw then was Orange Cassidy versus Pac. And last year, it was kind of like the coming out party for Orange Cassidy, like to actually like on the big stage, I believe, to make everybody go, oh yeah, he's got it. And this time, again, he started very funny, of course, and lots of fast-paced action, what you would expect from those two. And then eventually Pac would just I don't know, punish Orange Cassidy and had him on the floor, like on the mat, and wanted to go for the Black Arrow, and then Orange Cassidy rolls to the other end of the ring. Then Pac beats him down again, sets him up again for the Black Arrow, goes up, and then Orange Cassidy rolls under the turnbuckle and just poses with a thumbs up and smiles at Pac. Pac gets really mad and tries to punish him more, and then Orange Cassidy counters and so on. It was awesome. In the end, it led to a double count out though, because again, interference, because that's the theme of today, interference by the Good Brothers. Kenny came out and hit with the belt from the back, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. And so it just then led to like a double count out. That's it, exactly. Sorry to mix this up. So led to a double count out. And this then eventually, first Kenny was celebrating like, hey, no winner, so I don't have to fight. But now, of course, player. It's a 3-way match now at All In. It's Pac, Orange Cassidy versus the champ versus Kenny Omega. Apparently they had to switch that finish because apparently Orange Cassidy got really bad knocked out, hurt with the kick that Pac delivered to him, and he apparently was down and out for real. So they had to change that ending on the fly. Looking forward to that match though. If Orange Cassidy is good to go, there should be fun. Then after this, we saw the crowning of the Pinnacle. Very annoying, of course, but that's what they're going for. They all got like matching watches now and so on. And then D-Generation X, the Inner Circle came in with like a kind of a truck thing. It's at the back. It's like a little bit of the bubbly. And it was Sammy Guevara and Hager and was it Santana Ortiz? I always forget who that was. And then Chris Jericho came out of the trailer that they were showing. It says a little bit of the bubbly, and then some quick back and forth. Do you give us a rematch? No. Really? You don't give us a rematch? No. I want to hear it one more time. Will you give us a rematch? MJF is like, and oh no, that was really awkward, like back and forth, like totally unnecessary. And then of course they opened that hose, and then they sprayed like a little bit of the bubbly water at the inner circle, at the Pinnacle, and the Pinnacle of course got taken out by water, because why not? So that was a clear like knockoff of things that we've seen in AEW before, in WWE before. Like most famously Stone Cold Steve Austin, of course, like Kurt Angle. But yeah, I mean, it was funnish, but like they should have pulled up, just open it, not like rematch, no, rematch, no, rematch, no. Okay, but now I'm gonna spray you. Yeah. So then in the end, MJF was like, "You want a rematch? Okay, you get a rematch at AEW, and it's a match that you lost last year, Stadium Stampede." Yeah, that was like they're all good at promos, right? But this was a bit weird of a setup. And by the way, what I forgot, one of my favorite moments in the tag team match before, just popped back into my head, was when the Young Bucks went for a super kick on Kazarian, and was it Matt or Nick? I don't know. Said like, "I'm sorry, I love you," and just kicked him. It was kind of nice. Speaking of WWE references, so that was the crowning moment for the Pinnacle. Then we saw the worst match of the day: Thunder Rosa versus Jasmine Allure. That was a nothing match. Thunder Rosa ran through her, but why? It's like WWE style booking right here. And then in the end, we saw the AEW TNT Championship match once again. Miro this time facing off with Darby Allin, the champion with Sting, and that was brutal. That was a brutal match. I did not enjoy it that much, to be honest, but it was a brutal beatdown where Darby Allin had his moments, but most of the time it was a brutal beatdown by Miro against Darby, and then eventually Miro just locked in a submission and got the title because the ref called it off. And then we had attacks on Sting, of course, also in between. Miro was, of course, mad at him, but then also we had Rocky Romero again, and so on. But yeah, so the match was long and brutal, and I think that's what it needs to be to make Darby Allin look strong, even in defeat, and just paint Miro as like the super mega destroyer here. But I did not enjoy it that much, to be honest. Overall, it's not a bad match, though. It's still a good match. It's just not as enjoyable as, for me, the Young Bucks versus SCU. All right, overall, great show. The women's match, you have to find ways to highlight the women better. Like almost every women match except of Dr. Britt Baker is not that entertaining right now. So do something, AEW. All right, then let's move on to SmackDown. SmackDown started things off with the soap opera that is the Reigns Uso family drama, of course. I mean, it's good, but it's also annoying. Plus, I saw lots of praise for it, but the opening promo, while Roman Reigns certainly getting way better at promos, like this time was a bit lame. And not only from Roman's side, but it wasn't a good in-ring promo because he was like talking to Heyman like, "Hey Paul, what really?" Like saying some things that weren't that audible, which makes sense in a conversation. Like, he wants to face me? Like, come on, man, come on. But like in a big promo setting, that didn't really work well for me. Then Jimmy and Jey Uso, that thing, that brother thing. It's also they've been better on the mic, I believe. I think they've been better on the mic because I did not enjoy this too much. I enjoyed the shirt, of course. Nobody's bitch. That was nice. And of course, this then led to them arguing, and then Cesaro coming out. Oh yeah, and Reigns said, "You think you can do what I can do? Well, how about you fighting Cesaro today?" And Jimmy like, "Yeah, sure." And Jimmy called out Cesaro, and Cesaro's like, "Well, sure, challenge accepted. First I beat the cousin on Sunday. I will beat Roman Reigns and take the title." What happened in the match, the main event at the end? Guess what happened? Of course, they were going at it. Cesaro was gaining the upper hand. And then Roman Reigns, of course, interfered. Jey Uso also trying to beat down Cesaro. Jimmy not happy. He's like, I had it. Then he tries to walk off. Roman then talks to him like, what the hell, do you respect me? And think about the big picture at the end and so on. While Cesaro dismantles Jey Uso in the ring, then Roman goes into the ring, then Cesaro takes care of Roman Reigns, and Jimmy just watching on. Now that Cesaro is standing tall 2 weeks in a row, we know what's going to happen on Sunday, of course. It's going to be interference, and I'm betting it's going to be Jimmy Uso who's going to interfere, because Cesaro probably dismantles or like has Reigns beat at some point, then takes care of Jey Uso, and then probably beating down Jey Uso, and then Jimmy's going to come down and get into Cesaro's face, super kick Cesaro, spear Roman. That's it. Write it down. That's how it's going to happen. What else did we have? Well, we had the Women's Tag Team Championship. Natalya and Tamina versus Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler. And congratulations, Natalya and Tamina, two legends from like big wrestling families, finally got their championship. So congratulations on that. Well deserved. But those matches are just getting really long-winded, and they're really not well built. I want to be invested, but I'm not. Oh, WWE. Also, Apollo Crews. I like him as a heel. I like him as a wrestler. But this Nigerian accent that he never had before. I'm actually, and I don't want to be a snowflake, keyboard warrior, social justice warrior, and so on. But it's a tad bit racist. I mean, because he didn't have the accent before. Now he's like talking like this. Like, why? Seriously, why? You can't just rap the Nigerian flags by speaking in your normal accent. But this just shows like what kind of audience WWE has in mind. And that's why I stopped watching Raw, for example. And if this continues, the action was fine. So Cruz with the ceremony giving like a medal to Commander Aziz for his service. Then Big E interrupts via the Tron. Then Sami Zayn comes out, is hating on Big E. Then Kevin Owens comes out, chases Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn escapes a little. Then Owens goes through the ring, and then Aziz and Cruz beat on him. Then Big E comes out, beats on them. Chaos unfolds. KO in the corner. Sami Zayn trying to go for the Helluva kick, but Kevin Owens counters with the stunner and takes care of Zayn. Then I think Big E hits the big ending on Kevin Owens. Then Cruz tries to take out Big E, but Big E counters, has him on up top, but then Commander Aziz pulls him out. So it's a nice back and forth and like showing everybody off a little bit who's involved in that picture. Nice. We then had Booyaka Booyaka 619, Rey Mysterio being carried out on the back of his son. He's facing off with Dolph Ziggler, and of course, Rey Mysterio wins again. Last week, they had the victory. Now, another victory this time for Rey, which sets up their championship match at WrestleMania Backlash. And now with the Mysterious standing tall 2 weeks in a row, we can also assume what's gonna happen there. And then had Bayley on the Tron versus Bianca Belair in the ring, and they're not the best at promos. I like Bianca Belair in the ring. I don't like that hair thing that is just... but she's good in the ring, of course, and Bayley, I guess, too. But like, that promo was just not great. Like, hey, girl, yeah, girl. The last match, or not the last match I didn't talk about yet, was King Corbin versus Shinsuke Nakamura. What was Shinsuke Nakamura? And Corbin pinned him clean. I mean, Nakamura had him in the armbar, and Corbin was just pressing him against the mat, and that's how he got the victory, but still smart move by Corbin, can't argue. And then afterwards, Nakamura just hit a Kinshasa on Corbin, took King Corbin's crown and put it on himself. Fallen from grace, Shinsuke Nakamura. Oh my god. Yeah, so that was SmackDown this week. Not a bad show. I think the promo wasn't great, and the women's match wasn't great. The rest was okay. And the Reigns Cesaro thing, of course, looks very promising because they're just good in the ring, and they should have like lots of chemistry in there, which should be fun. But of course, gonna end with Jimmy Uso siding with the head of the table, interfering, saving probably Jey Uso, and then leading to the victory for Roman Reigns over Cesaro. All right, that's it. Let me know your opinions, your thoughts. your hopes for WWE WrestleMania Backlash. Shout out in the comments, social media, via email, funkitpod@gmail.com. Until then, see how excited I am for WrestleMania Backlash. Until then, don't forget to always kick out at 2. Take care, stay safe, and I'll see you next time.